Hey, welcome back to the Scorpio channel. And if you're new to the channel, welcome and happy 4th of July. My name is Laura. I'm going to do a general message for Scorpio. Know that energy is fluid, roles could be reversed. Interpret the message as best resonates with you. Also, know if you're new to the channel, I like to go in deep, which means I like to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, and see how they play out as karmic themes within your experiences. So you need to keep that in mind because the readings are a little bit longer because there's more detail. We're never dealing with just yes or no. What these readings do is they tell you why everyone's doing what they're doing, including why you attract the people that you attract, but why the experiences play out the way that they do. When they're imbalanced, we tend to look at those experiences as if we did something, as if there's something wrong with us, when really we're down here in the physical form to learn and to manifest. We learn through seeing our life through different perceptions. Why is this? Because you have spirit inside of you, and spirit is from source, which is God. So you have a deity part of self, and that part of self, like I said, is the God part of self that is of unconditional love. That is your energy. That's the same energy as the universe. So the prana that you breathe in is also known as the Holy Spirit. And that energy works through you, and that's actually how you manifest. Your supernatural abilities come from this energy. Problem is that when we have spiritual blocks, we have habits and behaviorisms that block us from manifesting the life and the life experiences that we want to have. So we wouldn't know what those blocks were. So the universe brings us people and situations and experiences to teach us, to grow us. And the reason why I see this, a lot of times I'll go in the comments and I'll see, I don't believe in God. If there was a God, why am I living this hell? Why am I living this torture with this person? And it is torture. That's, I believe, hell on earth. I believe that heaven and hell are a consciousness, and that you can obtain that higher state of consciousness through evolving, and that's through changing your perceptions. It's about healing, the integration process, not just integrating, but transmuting. So you have to be aware of the spiritual block, which those are your shadows. And then you need to know why those experiences happen. And then you actually have to transmute that energy to be fully healed. You always have to go through the experience again, but see a different outcome. This is why we tend to relive the same karmic experiences. Now, you might say, no, I avoid them, I control them, but then you're not going with the flow of the universe, because we're not supposed to control when we're again at ease. When we are going with the flow of the universe, we're in a place of unconditional love, which is at ease, so we're not controlling. When we're controlling, we're in fear. That happens again when we have been in a toxic relationship. So the transmutation is to go through another relationship with similar behaviorisms that the previous person had, but to deal with it differently, or to notice what those behaviorisms are right in the beginning of the relationship and intuitively listen to yourself and not pursue the relationship. A lot of people see the red flags, but they still, date that person, or they don't see the red flags, but they see them pretty early within the relationship. I would say after 3 months, you know them, but the problem is most people have formed an emotional connection too much to that person. So that's why it's really difficult to see those blocks. And you might say, well, doesn't everyone? Well, expectation. See, unconditional love, there is no expectation, there is no ownership. When we have expectation, And then the ownership comes with that. And then we're in a place of fear. And then it kind of looks like a toxic relationship that it will play out. So we always have to be in alignment with the laws of God, the laws of love, the laws of nature, and the laws of the universe, because they're all the same thing. So again, and you are, again, that energy. So I always like to say a little bit before, because, it's a different style of channel, but I will tell you what is going to happen within your relationship. But you are the master of your life. Never let a reading tell you. And this is just one perception. Again, there's many different realities due to your perception. If we do the reading right, you'll know exactly what to do to transmute that energy, that negative block, that spiritual block that is keeping you stuck in a place of limitation, in a place of fear. In your connection. Nothing worse than toxic relationships. Okay. Jealousy. Jealousy is the underlining energy. Well, you know what? It's so funny. It's like I feel as if you're connected to someone that you're in separation with, that normally they deliberately like to make people jealous. They need to get a lot of attention from a lot of people. And I feel like they get off a little bit on making people jealous because it feeds their ego. And I feel like you're not jealous. I feel like you don't care. And this person knows that you don't care. You got to a place that you're like, you're going to do what you do. And you know what? I know that you don't like any of those people that you talk to online. The issue is that emotionally you don't get what you need from this person. And the reason why is because they got to obtain a lot of attention from outside resources. And that's because they don't feel safe, they don't feel confident in themselves. But it doesn't mean that they don't have feelings. I feel like they're jealous over you because right now they're going crazy because you're not reaching out, you're not talking to them, you're not calling them. I feel like they do little breadcrumby things that they haven't, like, you didn't really pay attention to. I feel like they did do those anyway. And you're like, it's just not enough. It's like emotionally, you don't give me anything. And that's really important to me. And it is really important to Scorpio because Scorpio is an emotion, an emotional little border sign. It's like they need, they need, they need that love. And so they need to feel that love. And even if you weren't, you could be actually any sign, any, and I think that's more of less the reason why you need it isn't because of sign zodiac, it's more because of trauma. It's like because again, that's how I read. It's like it's not a zodiac thing, it's through again the family that you grew up in, the life that you lived, the type of person that you are, that you're a highly sensitive person. Those reasons are more why. And then on top of it, you could be also something else, like with the zodiac, maybe a little bit deeper. So you're really sensitive, you're really emotional, and so you want that back. It's like, and that's not a wrong thing. So I feel like this person knows that they didn't give you anything too. And so they're feeling like you're talking to somebody else. You have to be talking to somebody else. You have to be, um, you have to be getting attention from someone else because how come you're not? Because there's a connection between you and this person. And this person, I feel like they did everything to try and not call you, like almost to like starve you out. And so you're not feeling this person because I feel like they're drinking a lot. I feel like they're suppressing their emotions because otherwise they would be going crazy. But what it is that if they're getting sick, I feel like from like, again, drinking too much. smoking too much, whatever it is, this person's trying to escape. And I feel like they tried to escape for a long time because they wanted you to come back and apologize to them. So needless to say, they're jealous. They're extremely jealous because you must be talking to somebody else. You must be like, and like I said, tables are turned. This person normally loves to make people jealous, and here it is, you don't care. So you know this person's ego is like, that's what's really bothering them. They're like, I also don't like the way that this is right now. It's like almost like they want to come into your life and just disrupt your life because it's like they're so mad, you know. And this person used to get underneath your skin. I feel like used to press buttons deliberately because they wanted you to like show them. They're used to like people showing them. And I feel like that's not the way that you are. Okay, so let's let's see what this person did. I feel like they did gave energy to every single other person. And I also feel like they wanted you to be a little bit like the savior, like, but not in a genuine, not that they needed a savior, but that they're helping everyone else, giving to everybody else. So I feel like this person would complain a lot about having to do those things for everybody else, but really it was their choice to do them and not build an emotional connection to you, hoping that you would come in and like, oh, let me help you, let me be your savior, but not really because they needed saving, but because they wanted you to show them how much you cared about them. They could feel that there's a connection, they know that there's a connection, but this person logically is like exactly like you are, which is I really need like a frog horn in my ear to like see if somebody really likes me. I really need, otherwise I don't see it. And that's not because people don't show the attention. It's because you're not present to it because you don't think that way about yourself, where this person doesn't really feel that way about themselves genuinely. That's why they have to get attention from everybody else. That's why they ask people their opinion about everything. When they're talking to these random people, they don't like those people, but they have conversations with those people. Those people are giving them attention, they flatter them, it's, but they're not building a relationship with you. And that's again emotionally avoidant. And like I said, also feel like there's a sense that they did it maliciously. Like I don't really want to give you anything. And I believe that you like me that much because I feel our connection. I also believe that you're naive, that you're gonna do it. And you didn't do it. If anything, you detached. And so that's why there is a sense of that this person, like for a long time, was afraid of you confronting them over it because I don't think that they thought that you were smart. Like when you first met them, because they were such a player. And here it was like you would always give them time. And so I feel like this person loves the idea that you have feelings towards them, but they don't want to really show that they have that much feelings towards you. But they love the fact, and so they really need for you to show them. And I think that has to do with just like who you are. And like you might be like, I'm nobody, but you have a job. I feel like you're able to support yourself. You don't, you're not throwing yourself at a bunch of other like men or women trying to get by. Like I feel like this person tends to like attract the bottom of the barrel. And it's not because they don't have like good traits about them. It's because of how they feel about themselves. It's a mirror. So this person connects to people more that are on a lower vibration, where they're gonna, like sleep with the person right away, that they're gonna, because they need that that instant gratification because again of how they feel. So they were like, I want to avoid you because I know what I did, and I know that we'll get into a fight, and then that fight might lead to I never want to talk to you ever again. So instead, I'm gonna ghost you. I'm gonna avoid you, which again is gonna leave it even more so. And then I feel like they felt like you were I feel like they knew that you weren't being dramatic, but I feel like they made it like, oh, you're being dramatic. When this person loves that, wanted that. So they would say that even though they knew that you weren't, almost to like try and antagonize you, like like making it like you care so much. Like they wanted you to show like a reaction one way or the other is what I'm trying to get at. It was like, and I also feel like this person, when they weren't doing right by you, they would be dramatic, meaning like, well, you don't understand. I couldn't show up for you. I couldn't show up for you because I had to be the savior over here. I had to help out this person. I had to stay late at work. I had to help my mother. I had to help my brother. I had to help my friend. I had to. So again, like being like over the top dramatic. And then when you would say something like, oh, like, you're so dramatic. And then you're like, I'm not being dramatic. I'm just no stating the obvious, or you're just making such a big deal over it. But they knew that that wasn't true. That they were trying to get a reaction. Again, wanting you to give without giving. This person is very manipulative, and that's again, they were a player. So again, players know how to play. Look at that, the thumbs up. I don't know if you see that on your end, but it's like ever since the new Zoom, it's like I don't know how to get it off. Anyway, but that's what it is. It's like a player. They know how to get in, they know how to get out, they without giving anything. And then loving the fact that that person is upset too. Like when they're done with the person, they just dispose of the person and they're like, I don't really have feelings. And here it is, you didn't give anything and they have feelings for you because the whole time they were trying to that they were focused on you the whole time. They're trying to manipulate you to get the to get you to give to them without giving. They didn't realize how much time and energy and focus they were putting on you, that they grew feelings. So they didn't think that they were gonna care when they acted like an asshole. And now they're not in that same assholey place. They're starting to feel, like again, jealous, like you must be talking to somebody else because you're not coming back. Like I feel like this person, like, I don't know, like they thought that you were playing chicken with them, like it was a game, like you were gonna come back. Because again, dealing with low vibe people. And they didn't give you enough time. Again, the whole thing was that they were emotionally trying not to connect. You can't control that when it's a spiritual connection. This was a spiritual connection. This person never had a spiritual connection before. That's why they're like, you're a witch, or you're like a like warlock, or you're like doing voodoo on me, or you're doing something, or you watch those spiritual things on YouTube. You probably did something to me, and that's why I can't stop thinking about you. Like that's because normally I don't give a fuck. Like, what's wrong with me? It's like, and now it's like making them feel. And so now you were like, the whole time I was with you, I have no trust because it's like you're not giving me time. So you're talking to other people and you want me to be upset. So you don't really want me to trust you. No, that's a psychological reversal. This person feels insecure. They don't really believe that they can have love. So what it is they want you to they get so caught up in the you need to show me, you need to show me, you need to show me before I give you anything. Otherwise, you're gonna leave me. You're gonna leave me. I'm not gonna do it. I have trust issues. So I create trust issues within you, but it's not because I don't like you, because I wouldn't be jealous. I wouldn't be over here like, what the fuck? You put some kind of voodoo spell on me. I mean, shouldn't even like you. We don't even get along. It's like, so you want to tell me how it's gonna be? No. It's like, but I'm jealous. But again, this person manifested what they have, trust issues, but you also had trust issues before you met this person. So you're a mirror of who and what comes into your life. So until you integrate the spiritual lesson, you will never heal that. And so, oh, how can we trust? We learn to trust ourselves. It's not about trusting other people. We never trust other people. We trust ourselves with discernment. And so you were too close to the picture. So trust comes, that's a spiritual thing. Out of balance, second chakra imbalance. Second chakra imbalance means, again, going to be too controlling. That's why God said that in the beginning. You see that? It's again too controlling, out of balance. So you're going to be a little needy. And this person's going to be avoidant. And that's not going to make for a good, it's again, that's a cocktail for a trauma bond relationship. That's a cocktail for codependency. That says you're insecure because this person's insecure. Again, second chakra imbalance. Why does that happen? Raised in an environment that you weren't allowed to have your unfoldment process. So again, they're too busy and a little bit in survival for whatever reason, whether or not you grew up in a family that was out of balance, whether or not it doesn't matter. It's again, you didn't feel supported. So in that, you had to again mold to the environment where God says there's a lot of shadows there, just so you know. And if there's shadows there, then the third chakra is blocked, the heart chakra is blocked, you're blocked up. So again, this is why that's happening. Because you're like, well, I'm with somebody that plays all these fucking games. It's like, what the hell? It's like, and God says, is it making you mad, isn't it? And you're like, yeah, it's pissing me off. God says, see, that's the root chakra imbalance. That's the anger. Like, why does this always happen to me? And God says, too much energy on that, not enough in your body and creating yourself. That's how you integrate, because love is love. Love, you can't control love. God says, I am love. You can't control me. I'm the universe. You can't control me. I'm everywhere. I'm ubiquitous. I work through you. So you got to learn how to trust, and that's to be able to go with the flow of life. So again, that means that. So this person, like, the trust issues is because this person would never be accountable for what they would do. And so they would keep repeating it. It's like you keep doing it. So if you never acknowledge it, you purposely don't acknowledge it. And no, they didn't, because they wanted to get underneath your skin. They wanted you to like lose your shit, because they're like, you're not giving me what I want. So it's either we're gonna have an intimate connection and I'm gonna hook up and I'm gonna get what's mine, or I'm gonna like piss you off. Second chakra imbalance, all or nothing. I'm gonna control the situation. It's again, so you decided to detach because you're like, I'm not playing. And that this person didn't expect. You're like, I'm not playing this shit. Mm-mm. And so this person has an issue with being judged because, again, they were raised by a parent that judged them. Second chakra imbalance. Again, wasn't able to create themselves. So you called their bluff. Again, they weren't used to that type of behavior. And then really it was because I feel like you felt displaced. But the truth of the matter is, this person, again, always feels out of place. So they're not going to be able to make you feel in place. And you might always feel a little bit out of place too. Like, well, I never really feel like I fit in. And second chakra imbalance. Again, how you perceive yourself, where then you're going to give too much to someone else because emotionally you're not fulfilled with yourself, and this person wasn't fulfilled with themselves. You see? but there's a lot of passion. And because there's a lot of passion and there's not enough healing, we're at a low vibration because again, this person's at a low vibration and you're just not playing, but you're still attached. Again, because emotionally you're like, well, like we have this connection and I do have feelings. And so, and spirit says, so when you're at this low vibration and then it becomes that, is going to create a lot of arguments. And really, it did. So it was like you kept triggering this person kept triggering you because there's passion, but it's not on a high level because this person wants to stay at a low vibration. And so a low vibration would be like, let's just like hook up. Let's just have these like surface that, and I can still be free because I don't really like trust relationships because I don't really trust myself because of what I've created. Because I only date low vibe people, really. But I'm not aware of the fact of I only date low vibe people. However, I'm noticing that you're different from everyone else. You're different. But that's why we argued because it's again, I wasn't used to it. So instead of apologizing, again, which you never got the apology, this person just kept wearing a mask, pretending that everything was okay. And that's why you're like, well, you didn't come back, so you were probably cheating. Where it's like, no, I'm just trying to make your life feel upside down by excluding you or just gaslighting you to try and still manipulate you, stonewall you, ignore you. But really, the truth of the matter is, I'm just avoiding you because it's like I don't know how to do it. I know that you're going to blame me, and I'm afraid that you're going to say fucking enough because I'm tired. I'm tired because you don't make me feel safe. It's like you like to create illusions and it's just mainly to keep me out. So I don't really know what the fuck I would even stay connected to you for. Like if this is a circus, and that someone on a high vibration would say that, but on a low vibration, it becomes a game. It becomes a trauma bond. It becomes one that's full of drama. Again, then this person is dramatic. Again, and when they don't get what they want to call other people dramatic so that the person will be like, what are you fucking crazy? I'm not dramatic. And then you're dramatic. That's the whole thing where this person knows all those little games. But if you're not on a high vibration and you're caught up in your emotions because you're getting triggered all over the place, well, then eventually you might just wind up in the bedroom, you know? Because then it's all like, well, then we're going to make up and then it's going to be all that. And you were like, I ain't going there. Whatever that fuck that is, I ain't doing it. So now this person's like, is stuck looking at that asshole-ish behavior. Like, what were you like in a soap opera? What were you in your head? Like, again, which, yes, because they weren't grounded, because again, they're insecure, they were triggered by you and their feelings for you, which is why they wanted to control the relationship. So yeah, they were all caught up in their imagination, a lack of grounding. Second chakra, first chakra imbalance and second chakra imbalance, because I don't feel good with it myself. So I'm going to try and control the relationship, and I'm going to control it like this. So now they're stuck because you detached and they didn't want to be vulnerable. So now it's like, I have to be vulnerable if I want to come back into your life. And time's a long time. You haven't come back. You haven't talked to me. This is no longer a game. It's like I should have never played this game. You're probably talking to somebody else. I'm mad. I'm mad at myself. I'm mad at you because you should have warned me, which I feel like you did kind of warn them, but unless it was like a frog horn, in the person's ear, they were caught up and that's why I said, well, I don't know whether they were in a soap opera, and you were like also a main character, obviously, which they thought that they were gonna manipulate it. And it's like crazy that people would be in such toxic relationships, which like I think again that's how you look at this person, how this person feels anyway, that as you look at them, even if you don't didn't know that you were looking at it, you will now. And so it's almost like the mask that they were wearing of perceiving that there was this big almighty love, that everyone loves me. Well, again, the jig is up. And can anybody but yourself? There it is. You're not that person. You're not like that, you're insecure. So this person's pride is killing them. Pride. And it's mainly because they have abandonment issues. So now they're stuck in a place of anxiety and worry. All because they avoided you because they didn't want to blame. And it's all because they're like, now, why did I do that? It's because I don't trust. But they are in a place of regret. It doesn't mean that they're not resentful, though, because they need healing. But they're more mad at themselves, and now they kind of doubt that they can fix it. So let's go deeper and see. Are they going to do anything? They're just going to stay, or are they figuring out this type of connection? It's not uncommon to see wishy-washy energy because, well, this is what I'm feeling. It's like, because the person's insecure and they're working through a block, where spirit is using you because they have feelings, they have to change, they had to look at themselves. First, they had to see that the difference between you and everyone else. They needed an example. And then they needed to say, well, how did I get here? And then they need to look and see, like, again, what do I want? Who am I surrounding myself with? So it's very healing for them. But in the process, I could see this person being angry, sad, happy, again, because when we're triggered, we feel all different emotions, but that love is still there. So this person, you might see, I love you, but I hate you. I hate you because why don't you just make it easy? Why don't you just, so what that happened? What, you're going to hold on to it? Let's not hold on to it, where it's like, no, you don't want to be accountable. You don't want to work through the hard stuff because you have a second chakra imbalance and you take it like I'm judging you. Where really, again, that's your shit from your childhood. It's like, that's why you have soulmates, because through unconditional love, you're going to learn how to say it gently. You're going to learn how to, again, say it. This person's going to get triggered, but they're still going to have feelings. And that's what it is. When you still love somebody that's triggering the shit out of you, you really begin to be like, oh, this is what unconditional love is. I can't control this. I can't control this. And this person doesn't think the way that I think, and they're not doing what I'm doing. If anything, it's very triggering. And I do believe the divine has gotten involved in this connection. So again, that doesn't mean that it's an easy connection. It means that it's a hard connection because both parties have blocks. We're going to look into yours soon too, but let's go deeper with this person. I've hurt you and I'm sorry. I hope you can forgive me someday and understand I was reacting in fear, which is what I said already. We want to know something else. This journey is teaching us one of the most important spiritual lessons, patience. So I feel like this person down deep inside is like, knows eventually that they're going to come back. They know eventually, but I feel like they were waiting for the smoke to clear. And the thing is, I feel like the smoke never cleared because they've always had that anxiety. But now it's almost like the divine's getting involved. This person's getting nervous. Again, like, you're going to meet somebody. You're not calling me. You're probably hanging out with someone now. It's like, it's been such a long time. You're gonna like move on without me. You're gonna leave. And so I feel like this person, for whatever reason, was waiting for the right time. And that's about patience. And I don't know why they were waiting. Well, look and see, I daydream about you, sometimes sexual, other times I visualize our future together. That's what I was saying, that there's like again, that there's a lot of this spiritual connection where this person can't help it. It's like they just can't help it. I know the universe works in mysterious ways, but sometimes I judge the situation instead of surrender to it. Again, that's that they're all their shit, which is what I was saying, their baggage of like, like if I like you trigger me, so I shouldn't really care about you. Like you don't think the way that I think. It's like I didn't like why do you have such a hold on me? Like why normally I'm free. Normally, like I don't have to like become subservient. People are subservient to me, where spirit's like, well, that's your ego, darling. That's not, you know, that's not real. That's what you want it to be. So of course, like I said, you're gonna see a little wishy-washy energy because a block means we have to work through it. We have to learn to surrender to what's happening. And so in this situation, the person's like, I don't want to have to come back and apologize. I don't want to have to explain myself. I don't want to have to do those things. It's embarrassing. I feel like an asshole. I feel like it's again, and that's what they were controlling the situation to avoid looking like this. And this is how we manifest what we don't want to manifest. This is what a psychological reversal looks like. It's like, I don't want this to happen, so I'm going to do everything to make it happen. I'm going to get in my own way. And in that, it makes me not like myself. It makes me not trust myself. So I can't trust you because I don't trust me. And I have proof why I shouldn't trust you. Look at all my other relationships. Look, it works this way for me. I don't have to get emotionally involved. It's like, and now I have this connection. And what the hell is a spiritual connection anyway? It's voodoo, it's witchcraft. It's non-American. Like almost like this person it's like just wants to rip it out. And if you're not American, it doesn't matter. It's not whatever country you're from. It's just it's not human. We won't even use the state. It's just this is alienation. It's craziness. It's like an alien came down and is like doing something. You're not human. There's something here. And it's like I who thought that it was gonna be important? I didn't think that it was gonna be important. And look at the shit mess that I've made. I'm making this person really look at their behaviors and what they showed you. I need to be strong in who I am before I can merge my energy with yours in the 3D. I'm afraid I could lose myself in this relationship. And this is what I'm talking about. It's all about healing, where spirit's saying, you are not dating people on a vibration. You were dating the lowest of the hanging fruit. You were with the low of the low. And so it made you feel big. It made you feel strong. It made you build your ego. It was superficial. And here's a spiritual connection, a real connection that this person could manipulate. And they're like, I still have feelings, but why? I don't really want to surrender to this. And I feel like, again, this person's in the wishy-washy stage now, but they're eventually going to get to, I need to be strong in who I am before I merge my energy with yours, which is what spirit says, bingo, bingo, because you're codependent, because you create trauma bonds. You don't create healthy relationships because there's pieces of you missing. And there's pieces of you missing because there are shadows. And that's the second chakra imbalance of how you see yourself, who you perceive you are. So if you perceive that there's something wrong with you and that you lack, you're going to overcompensate. And in the overcompensate, you give too much too soon, it goes too fast. There's no balance in the relationship. So the person gets bored. and then they don't really want to then answer to everyone, and that's due to their childhood of being brought up mainly from being in a imbalanced, family, because the parents were in a codependent trauma bond relationship. So they couldn't be there for this person. So this person had to then be the adult, had to be the one that took care of themselves, the same as you, same story, which is why you attracted this person. One of the reasons. We're going to see what your personal reasons are now, but that's why. So this person is like, again, planning on coming back, but they're like, I need to heal a little bit. I need to, which is inevitably what it is. And I long ago shut down those parts of me that wanted love, romance, and intimacy, but you make me long for those things again. No shit. No shit. It's all about healing. It's all about healing. You might be like, that's not my story. Listen, you don't know, because love is God and God does miracles. When it's, again, a spiritual connection, it does. It doesn't mean that this person's automatically healed. No, what it means is that they're starting to do the healing work. So you might be like, so they're so fucked up, they're still gonna fuck me up? No, no, but we'll look and see. Um, no, that's not what that means. What that means is that they want to do the healing because they've lived too long the other way, where life had kept sabotaging them. So this person is going to surrender their ego, which Spirit says that's how you know that is unconditional love. So that person won't fuck you over, because once they're in that energy, it's, again, they it would hurt them too much, because, and right now we see it's affecting them now. They wouldn't be jealous, is, again, and have anxiety and worry and be looking at their behavior. So we know that they're evolving because they also want to do work on themselves. So no, and no, this person really, like, I feel like they're gonna come and they're gonna finally speak their truth. They're gonna finally communicate. They're gonna finally tell you how they feel. And so you're emotionally going to get what you finally were looking for with this person, because I feel like they didn't want to verbalize. This person has a very hard time communicating. And again, if you have a second chakra imbalance, you have a first chakra imbalance which is why you had a second chakra imbalance. Well, then guess what? That you're not going to be confident. You're not going to be able to speak your truth, not going to be able to ask for what you need. You're not going to be able to be emotionally vulnerable. So you're not going to listen to your intuition. So you're not going to be able to see things, where this person, again, fantasizes, but fantasizing too much and not doing anything about it becomes a crown chakra imbalance, where you're not able to hear divine guidance, which only happens in the now. And that's that proverbial light bulb, which is, I don't know how I knew that, I just knew. And so this person's was out of alignment. They're, again, still need healing, but the relationship is helping them to integrate the spiritual lessons. Now, does that mean forever? No, sometimes yes, sometimes no. In this reading, we won't know, but understand this person is, like, does have good intentions, is what we're getting at. So we always have to say, why are you attracting this person? Because we see now how you're benefiting this person. This person's, again, looking at themselves, doing the work. Okay, so what's the work that you need to do? What are your inner child wounds? What are your shadows? Because you're a mirror of who and what comes into your life. So what did you need to be taught? Or what gifts are we going to unfold? Sometimes it's a gift, because shadows hide gifts too, meaning I don't know who I am. I never knew that I was good at that. Or, yeah, I always liked that, but what happened? And the spirit would say is underdeveloped. You liked it when you were young, but you didn't grow it, you didn't feed it, you didn't do anything with it. So it never flourished. It stayed a little seedling. It stayed a little tiny little plant, but it didn't grow into the fruits, the spiritual fruits. And that's how you really create your heaven on earth, right? You create it by embodying unconditional love to become the magnet of love. And that's why we have these relationships. So, again, play. You weren't allowed to play. Again, second chakra imbalance. The play is to be like childlike. That's when children go out and they find themselves. They go out and they explore and they find who they are. And that's how you know what you like and what you don't like. And that's what you feed. And that's how you live your bliss. You live your bliss through, oh, I just love that. And so I spent a lot of time doing it and I mastered it. Mastery comes in the doing. So understand it's like you weren't allowed to play. You had responsibilities. I feel like your parent was always angry and because they were angry, their mission was to make everybody angry, which is again makes you feel like that there's something wrong with you, makes you feel like that you did something wrong because the person's angry, or you could tell that there's something wrong. And so being sensitive, we tend to internalize too. And that happens too if you're always like nervous, you become highly sensitive, and then every little thing we tend to tap into, which is why we become emotionally more like needy, because it's like, well, it's like the parent was angry, and I felt like there was something wrong with me. So Spirit says, so you have to reparent that, and you have to love yourself, and you have to again heal that second chakra imbalance, and that comes through playing. To go with the flow of life, we play because we can't control what goes on in the universe or another person. We go with the flow of life through playing, through putting our time and energy to the things that we love. Where Spirit says you didn't do enough of that. So there's parts of you that don't even know who you are. So you're giving all of you away too much, too fast, too soon. And that's going to be bad. So again, this person didn't allow you to do that. They were avoidant. So, which meant that you had to do it for yourself. And I feel like you did, to be honest with you. Now, I feel like you played, but I feel like you still need to play more. So you might have played and mastered a craft or mastered something within your job or career, but Spirit says that's one element. There's 8 slices of pizza to a fucking pizza pie. So that's one slice. Is 7 slices going to that person? Because that's a second chakra imbalance. It's again, Spirit says, me first, I'm a jealous God. That's through you first, because I'm inside of you as a gift to Spirit. And that's through giving yourself, filling your cup up all the way and giving whatever dribbles out. This way the person longs for you. So they have to think about you. That's and give you, like, understand, like, when you're busy, the person then has to give, because if they don't, you're going to emotionally say, I get more from being interactive in my own life. You don't really bring anything to the table. So the ego then knows that, the intuit knows that. So Spirit's saying you'll get balanced when you play, because life isn't just about working and coming home and having a few friends. It's like joining things, being part of the community, getting a hobby, getting an interest, take dancing, take cooking, be involved in life, lose yourself. So you really know what you like. Play, be like childlike. Don't do my job, do your job. Go out and have fun, Spirit says. The universe will conspire to bring you everything that you need by you becoming it. But without that, you're going to pull somebody that's just as imbalanced. You might say, imbalance, this person's a cheater, this person was a liar. The Spirit says, imbalance goes to imbalance. There's only 2 energies, love and fear. So even if you're a little bit, Spirit says, you're not me. Unconditional love, that's the balance. So it was confusing, because why is this person always angry with me? How come I don't get the love and support, and I have to figure things out on my own, and I kind of have to be a parent, because your parents were were codependent. And I feel like some of your parents had addictions, and some of them were in relationships with other people, and some of them, again, addiction always comes with that trauma bond, codependent type of relationship because it's imbalanced. Both parties aren't really getting what they need. However, they can't live without each other because they haven't done the work. It's just two totally like people that loved each other but are so opposite, where we get people like that to learn balance, where because balance comes in the compromise, that it comes through unconditional love, that you know that a person is completely a certain way. Like you might be with someone that's like a real highly sensitive person, or you may be someone that's really highly sensitive, and that person then has to adjust. Meaning, oh, it's too loud in here for this person. They like to go home a little bit earlier. They like to, they have better lifestyle habits because of their sensitivity. They tend to be more mindful, more spiritual, where the other person has a big ego, but is great in business and is savvy, So again, they complement the masculine with the feminine energies, where spirit says, I'm both. I'm not one, I'm not the other, I'm both. And so are you. And it's like, and in that, you're like completely out of balance, like when you're all just in one energy. Because again, if you're full of just feminine energy, very intuitive, creative, but you're not good with the physical elements, where that masculine energy is all that fire energy, and they again are good with that, with they're good with building, they're good with the elements of the physical world, or which means the physical body. They have better connection to the physical body. So they like that sex, they like that connection, they need it. The emotional part they're not good with. And here you are, you're really good with the emotional part, but now so it's the complement. So Spirit saying, I purposely pair you up with people that change you, to heal you, because only I can change your mind and your heart. And I'm going to bring you the people, the situations, and the experiences that do so, because I love you unconditionally, because I love you more than anything. And I'm your support more than your parents. Your parents love you, but they did the best that they could do. They did that. No one's perfect. They were all born into family karma, ancestral karma, collective karma, and they had no spiritual knowledge, very little. Some might have known a little bit more, but by the time that they, learned it, it was late, or they were just on their journey too. And just human. We learned that our parents are just human beings, the way that we're human beings, we just are evolved more. And so, or we have the potential to evolve more. And so, by understanding things from a spiritual perspective, you're not triggered as much, where you're able to say, oh, that's why that happened. That's why I attracted that person. That's why that happened. It's not because there was something wrong with me. However, the person's reaction to what happened again is going to be bad because they're not healed. So they're going to avoid, but it's out of fear. So when you see it that way, it takes the pressure off of you. So Spirit said, oh, I should pull one more. Let me pull one more inner child card. So it's confusing. And wait, did I pull that one? That one kind of fell out, but I'm going to put it nurturing. So again, that goes along with, again, playing and confusing, not having that love, where Spirit saying, again, time to reparent yourself. And one more, isolation. And I feel like you just felt alone. You felt alone emotionally. You weren't getting what you needed. And so this person again felt isolated. You was, I'm gonna like not really pay attention to you. You're not really, I'm gonna treat you differently from everyone else. I'm not gonna, and I'm hoping that you'll either react and give me what I want, or that you're going to show that you're so upset and that you're so devastated that it won't matter. It's like, again, because I'm not going to care anyway, and that's not what happened. I feel like as a child, the way that you dealt with your trauma or not getting emotionally what you needed, you used to isolate, where again, this could have been a trigger that if you didn't put your energy into yourself, you would have isolated. But I feel like you reparented this. I feel like you reparented this. Relationships are still confusing. Second chakra imbalance. Once you know yourself more, you will understand why people are the way that they are. You take it a lot less personal, and that happens in playing. It's not by forcing yourself. Again, spirit says, no, 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 go out and have a love affair with yourself. It's like then that passion for life is where you find yourself, and really then you're able to say, oh, that person is like that way because they haven't discovered those things, but you don't see that because you haven't created yourself, and this person clearly hasn't like created themselves. They're but you started them on their journey. You're further along on your journey. That's the difference. You've created yourself within your job, you've created yourself within other avenues of life where this person hasn't. I feel like you have better relationships, more intimate relationships, close relationships where this person doesn't. So again, we see that complementary and energy, the yin and the yang. So we end off and saying, if for those of you that want to be with this person because they're coming back, what should we focus on now and when they come back? What's the energy? Acceptance. I accept every step that life presents me without resistance. I try to find out what the universe is trying to teach me so I can grow. Thus, I advance in freedom on the path to light. So this is what said that second chakra imbalance is that we can't control. We have to get to a place of acceptance. And again, that there's a reason why everything happens in this relationship was to teach you, to grow you, to heal you, not to, and unfortunately with the teaching and learning, it comes from you're going to learn through the triggers, but the thing is, you're so crazy about this person and they're so crazy about you that there's still passion, and that passion helps transmute those negative energies. First, we have to again have awareness and go through the process. So we see your person's in the beginning, very beginning of their process. And what we see is with spirit saying, well, you still need to do your stuff too. You're not 100% there yet. And that's through going out and playing, create more of a life for yourself so that when this person comes back, you're not giving them too much pie. It's again, is the whole point. And that we accept. It's about learning how to surrender. And that's difficult because it's like, I have trust issues, and spirit says it's about trusting yourself. And once you have a love affair with yourself and start playing, your intuition is going to work better. And because again, you're not so close up to the picture. You're not going to be so codependent. You're going to have emotional support. So you're able to say, no, I don't agree with that. You're going to it's going to be easier for you to lay boundaries. So again, so you'll be teaching a person instead of wanting the acceptance for love, you're focused more on, you're going to fucking respect me because I get my love from a lot of other places. I got a lot of passion coming in life, and no, I'm not sleeping with 1,000 people. I have passion for life. Jesus died for your passion for life. But even if you're not Catholic and you don't believe like in that kind of stuff, the universe is again conspires for that to happen, for you because you are the universe and it only wants the highest. I'm going to leave that there, Scorpio. You let me know how you resonated. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon and happy 4th. No one, uh, be careful with those fireworks. I don't want to hear that anyone blew off their fingers. Be careful. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.